Our goals: simplify expressions with rational exponents and to write expressions with rational exponents as radicals and vice versa. Rational exponents and radical expressions. Let us define rational exponents first. Ano ba ito? Rational exponents are exponents that are fractions. It is also known as fractional exponents. Kaya huwag malilito ha, ang rational exponents at fractional exponents ay pareho lang ng tinutukoy. The expressions at the right are examples of expressions with rational exponents. So we have 16 raised to the power of 1/2. We have x raised to the 1/4 power, 32 raised to the 1/5, and 8 to the 1/3 power. Ayan ha, tandaan. Rational exponents kapag fractions ang exponents. How do we simplify expressions with rational exponents? So let us have example 1. Rewrite the base to its exponential form. Ang base natin dito ay 16 and 16 is equal to 4 squared. Then, copy lang yung exponent natin na 1/2. Then, i-multiply natin yung mga exponents. That is numerator times the numerator and denominator times the denominator. That is 2 times 1 equals 2 and 1 times 2 equals 2. Kaya we have 2 over 2 which is equal to 1. Thus, 4 raised to the first power is equal to 4. Our final answer. Remember, hindi na kailangan isulat ang 1 na exponent. Understood na yun ha? Example 2. Rewrite the base to its exponential form. Ang base natin dito ay 8. So, we rewrite 8 as 2 cubed. Then, copy lang yung exponent natin na 1/3. Then, i-multiply natin yung mga exponents. That is numerator times the numerator and denominator times denominator. That is 3 times 1 equals 3 and 1 times 3 equals 3. Kaya we have 3 over 3 or equal to 1. Any number raised to 1 will retain its value. So, the answer is 2. Remember, hindi na kailangan isulat ang 1 na exponent. Understood na yon. Example 3. The same rule shall apply regardless if a base is a variable. Ang kaibahan lang kapag variable is that wala ka nang i-rewrite na number as base and exponent. As is na siya. Kaya, diretso lang na i-multiply yung mga exponents. That is numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. 3 times 4 equals 12 and 1 times 3 equals 3. Kaya we have an exponent na 12 over 3. So 12 divided by 3, we have 4. Thus, we have 8 to the 4th power as our final answer. At ganon, kung paano natin i-simplify ang mga expressions with rational exponents. So, let us have the next. Radical expressions. Bakit ba may radical expressions? Kasi may mga pagkakataon na hindi natin talaga maiiwasan ang fractional exponents. Ibig sabihin, walang paraan para ma-rewrite natin ang isang expression sa exponential form. Tulad ng 5 raised to the power of 1/3 at 2 raised to the power of 1/2. So kapag ganon, ang pwede natin gawin ay i-simplify ang mga expressions na ito in radical form naman. So, radical, ibig sabihin may mga roots. Let us recall, ano nga ba ang mga radicals? Remember, sa mga radical expressions in general form, ang tawag sa buong ito ay radical. Ayan. Ang basa sa radical na ito ay nth root of x. Isa-isahin naman natin ang mga parts ng radical. Radicand ang tawag sa x, index ang tawag sa n, at radical sign naman itong symbol na to. Example, ang basa sa radical na ito ay 4th root of 16. Ang radicand ay 16 at ang index ay 4. Example 2. Ang basa sa radical na ito ay square root of a. Ang radicand ay a at ang index naman ay 2. Take note, the index is omitted kasi it is understood to be 2 or square root. Ang tanong, anong connection ng rational exponents sa radical expressions? Ng fractional exponents sa mga radicals? O makinig. Radicals can be expressed as an exponential number whose exponent is a rational number. The exponential number, this expression, when changed to radical is this expression. Now, this expression is read as the nth root of a raised to m. The nth root of a number is a number that is taken n times as a factor of the radicand a. So, let us compare. This is the general form of an exponential expression with a rational exponent. This is the base, and this is the rational exponent. And this is the general form of a radical expression. This is the radical, this is the exponent of the radical, and this is the index. Now, to transform an exponential expression na may fractional exponents to a radical expression, ang gagawin natin ay isulat ang base sa loob ng radical sign. So, from base, naging nasa loob na siya ng radical symbol. And then, isulat ang numerator of the exponent as exponent ng ating radical. At isulat naman ang denominator of the exponent as the index of our radical. Lagyan natin ng value yung mga variables para mas malinaw sa inyo. Let us have 8 raised to the power of 1/3. This is the base and this is the exponent. Dumako naman tayo sa radical expressions. This is the cube root of 8. This is the index and this is the radical. Paano nga uli i-transform ang isang exponential expression to a radical expression? Ulitin natin. Ayan. Base becomes the radical, the denominator of the rational exponent, and the denominator of the rational exponent becomes the index. Ma'am, saan po napunta itong 1? Nandito po sa radical. Matatandaan na hindi na natin kailangan isulat ang 1 na exponent. Understood na yon. Let us have another example. 12 raised to the power of 3 halves. Meron kang dalawang pwedeng pagpilian paano mo ito ma-rewrite sa radical expression. Una ay ganito. Ayan, isulat ang base as the radicand, isulat ang numerator of the exponent as exponent ng ating radical, at isulat naman ang denominator of the exponent as the index. Take note ha, understood na kapag walang nakasulat na index, ibig sabihin nito ay square root yung hinahanap natin. Kaya dito, hidden yung index natin na 2. Pangalawang paraan kung paano mo i-rewrite ang expression na ito ay ganito. Nakapaloob naman sa parenthesis ang radical at i-erase natin ito dito sa ating exponent. Katulad lang din ng ginawa natin kanina ang proseso. Ang kaibahan lang ay nasa labas ng parenthesis ang exponent. At ayan, madali lang, di ba? Practice pa tayo. Radical to exponential muna tayo. Let us have example 1. Change 5 raised to the 1/4 power to a radical expression. I-apply lang natin yung natutunan natin kanina. Base na 5 dito sa radical. Numerator of the exponent is 1, kaya di na kailangan isulat. Denominator of the exponent na 4, kaya meron tayo dito sa index. So, this is read as the 4th root of 5. 5. Example 2. Change 4 raised to the power of 3 halves to a radical expression. Again, base na 4 dito sa radical. Numerator of the exponent is 3, kaya we have an exponent here. Denominator of the exponent is 2. Kaya dito sa index, understood na ito ay square root kahit na walang naka-indicate na number. Kaya naman, this is read as the square root of 4 cubed, or the square root of 4 raised to the third power. Ito naman, exponential to radical. Let us have example 3. Write the cube root of 8 raised to the fourth power in exponential form. I-apply lang natin ulit yung mga natutunan natin kanina. So, we have a radical na 8, kaya gagawin natin siyang base. Ayan. And then, yung ating outside exponent na 4, ilagay dito sa numerator of the exponent. And ang ating index na 3, ilagay naman sa denominator of the exponent. Kaya this is read as 8 raised to the power of 4 thirds. Let us have example 4. Write the fifth root of 32 in exponential form. I-apply lang natin ulit yung natutunan natin kanina. So, we have radical na 32 dito sa ating base. Wala tayong nakikitang exponent dito sa ating radical. Kaya isulat lang natin yung 1 dito sa numerator of the exponent. Meron tayong index na 5. So, ito ang ating magiging denominator of the exponent. Kaya naman, this is read as the fifth root of 32 is equal to 32 raised to the 1/5. At ayan, ganun natin i-rewrite ang isang exponential expression with rational exponent para maging radical expression. Next topic natin ay simplifying radical expressions using the laws of radicals. So we have the nth root of a raised to the power of n is equal to a. This is our mathematical formula base dito sa statement na to. Mapapansin, yung radical natin, ang radicand ay a at pareho ang ating index at exponent na n. So, i-explain natin itong law na ito. So, halimbawa, we have the cube root of 12 raised to the third power. Pareho dito ng format sa ating general formula. Unahin muna natin yung nasa loob ng parentheses. Write the radical 12 as the base. Since walang exponent sa loob ng ating radical symbol, we write 1 as the numerator of our rational exponent. Then, the index will become the denominator of our rational exponent. Tapos, itong exponent sa labas ng parentheses, i-copy lang din natin dito ulit sa labas ng parentheses. So, on the right side of the equation, i-multiply lang natin yung mga exponents na nasa labas at nasa loob ng parentheses. That is 1/3 times 3. And that is equal to 3/3. Since this is equal to 1, therefore, 12 is our final answer. Kaya naman, parang nag-cancel lang tayo. Parang ganito, yung next slide natin, i-apply natin yung shortcut. The square root of 8 raised to the second power, makakancel yung root at ang exponent, kaya 8 na lang. Ayan, tugma dito sa ating law. Ganon din ito, fourth root of 10 raised to the fourth power. It is simply equal to 10. Fifth root of 2 raised to the fifth power, it is simply equal to 2. At sixth root of x raised to the sixth power, it is simply equal to x. Tandaan ha, kapag magkapareho ang exponent at ang index, cancel na lang. Ang matitira na lang dito ay ang ating radicand. Next natin, we can multiply radicals if the indices are the same. Kahit magkaiba ng radicands, basta pareho ng index ay pwede natin i-multiply ang mga radicals. Ayan, we have the fifth root of 4 times the fifth root of 8. Magkaiba ng radicand pero pareho sila ng index na 5. Inside the radical symbol, multiply natin yung dalawang radicand. So we have 4 times 8 and then copy lang natin yung common index which is 5. So 4 times 8 yung kanina is equal to 32. So we have the fifth root of 32 dito sa ating next line. Take note that the index 5, ito yon, indicates the number of times the root be multiplied by itself to get the radicand. So in this case, 32 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, or 32 is equal to 2 raised to the fifth power. Therefore, the fifth root of 32 is 2. Therefore, the fifth root of 32 is 2. Next natin, we can divide radicals if the indices are the same. Kahit magkaiba ng radicands, basta pareho ng index, ay pwede natin i-divide ang mga radicals. Example, we have the square root of 18 divided by the square root of 2. Magkaiba ng radicand pero pareho sila ng index na 2. Step 1. Divide the radicand. Pinagsama lang sa isang radical symbol. And then step 2, copy the common index. So from our solution here, ang next line natin is equal to the square root of 9. Next step natin is to simplify square root of 9. Take note, the omitted index 2 indicates the number of times the root be multiplied by itself to get the radicand. In this case, we have 3 squared is equal to 9. Ibig sabihin, the square root of 9 is equal to 3. Therefore, the square root of 18 divided by the square root of 2 is equal to 3. And last, nested radical. Kapag sinabi nating nested radical, ibig sabihin, ang isang radical expression ay naglalaman ng isa pang radical expression. The root of a root is the arc of a, where r is equal to mn. So, to simplify, using this rule, let us have the following examples. So, we have the cube root of the square root of x is equal to the sixth root of x. Saan nakuha yung 6? Kasi we have multiplied the outside index na 3 and the inside index na 2. So we have 3 times 2 is equal to 6. Sulat lang and then kopya lang yung ating radicand na x. So sunod dito sa ating rule. Next, we have the square root of the fifth root of 9 is equal to the 10th root of 9. So 10 ito kasi we have 2 times 5. And we have the fourth root of the cube root of 10 is equal to the 12th root of 10. 12 ito kasi we have 4 times 3. So, sunod ulit dito sa ating rule. Let us have another example. Yung isi-simplify natin yung radical expression by reducing the radicand. Parang ganito, mukhang komplikado to ano, pero kaya nyo yan basta alam ang basic. So, ang basa natin dito ay the cube root of the square root of 64. So, paano natin yan isosolve? Using this law, madali lang natin yan magagawa. Ang kailangan lang is alam talaga yung basic. So, first step is to extract muna natin yung roots ng nasa pinakaloob na radical. So, ang index nito ay 2. That is the square root of 64. And we all know what is the square root of 64. And that is equal to 8. So, nakuha na natin yung roots nitong ating inner radical. So, next natin is i-extract naman natin yung roots nitong ating nasa labas na radical na may index na 3. So, ito, kinobya lang. That is the cube root of 8, which is equal to 2. Therefore, the cube root of the square root of 64 is equal to 2. So, mukhang komplikado, diba? Pero ito lang talaga yung simplified form niya. Ang mahalaga, kabisado mo yung mga perfect squares at yung mga perfect cube. Kung hindi man, itry mong gawin yung factor 3. And that is our lesson about rational exponents and radical expressions.